It's a great day to be intrigued. Hi, and welcome back to IBTCH Reacts IBTCH. And today I will be sharing another video on being laid off. Of course, with my content, I do react. So if you happen to see the video and you would prefer to just watch it fully or whole, go ahead and push the bar to the end and do what you need to do. Do what you need to do. Let's begin. So, usually, what I like to do is let me come back to it. Usually, what I like to do is I like to, uh, watch something from YouTube or social media. And when I do that, I don't like to watch it alone. I don't like to watch it alone. So, of course, I'm going to share it. And of course, while I'm sharing it, I'm going to react to it. And with that being said, show my series is about. Right now, I have been on the being laid off kick where people are being laid off. Yes, I've been on that kick. And so let me check my audio. I see it moving. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, I see it moving. So lately I have been on that kick where I'm actually what am I trying to say? Watching a lot of laid off content because I love journeys. I love watching journeys. And it's nothing like somebody who was laid off, is starting from scratch and goes on a journey and shows and shares it with us. I think for one, that's very brave. For two, it might help somebody else out here who is going through the same thing. So, this particular content uh, is from Natasha Marie. She has 12 subscribers. I thought I did everything right. Then I got laid off from my six-figure job. I saw the title, not the thumbnail, and that's really what I do. I go through and I look at something. And I'm like, let me watch this and see. And I just want to watch it. So here we go.
I didn't think we would be meeting under these conditions, but hey, when life throws a curveball your way, you just got to take it. I followed all the rules, at least what I thought were all the rules, and I still got laid off from my job.
Oh, that's cute.
Hello, hello, hello. My name is Natasha Marie, but we're friends now, so you could just call me Natasha. And I got laid off from my six-figure corporate job February 13th, 2026. It was a normal work day. My boss was on vacation. Actually, in fact, he gave us reassurance.
If you hear it in the background, somebody's mowing the lawn. My apologies. My apologies. Let's continue.
Like the week before that everything was good, headcount was looking healthy in our organization. So I wasn't expecting anything of the sort of this like call that came on Friday the 13th of all days. Like really, it was around like 9:30 in the morning. We all got a email from a higher up person in the company, somebody we don't actually ever interact with. And It just said mandatory meeting. There was no body to the invite, nothing else in the subject. And actually, the way the invites were sent, you didn't see anybody else on it. It just looked like it was a one-on-one invite. Quickly, my coworkers and I started messaging each other to see who got on this invite. And we all realized that, at least in our organization of the UX team, we were all the remote employees who got the invite, and our in-office employees did not know about this meeting. But we had 30 minutes to rack our brains. I mean, it was pretty clear that it was going to be some type of organizational change. I've had like an inkling just based off of some changes in the past year, past 18 months, that they were going to one day address us remote workers. But based on how it's been handled in the past, I really thought that they were just going to tell us that we need to relocate to the headquarters by a certain date, or we could take a package to leave. So it was not expected that on the call they would say that our roles were being eliminated and that our last day was effective the day they were telling us. And I was recording this moment because, like I said, I had that inkling. I posted it on TikTok and some people thought it was fake. So I'm just going to like really put in like super, super fast time, the real thing. So you know that it wasn't fake. Like that was real shock, real distraughtness, real tears, of just finding out that my entire livelihood was going to be coming to an end in, well, that day, and then would have like 2 months remaining.
Kudos to the people who get on here and they um share these moments. But I don't recall like whenever I was laid off from somewhere I was going through something, I don't recall picking up a phone or a camera and recording my reaction. Like that part gets to be a little staged to me, and it's not real. I mean, I guess that is in real life, but I don't know. Like when I start getting this giving the side eye whenever it's like you have a camera sitting over here while you're doing this. But I I I guess, if you want your stuff to blow up, yeah,
Pay. I'm
yeah.
currently 3 weeks post layoffs, and it's definitely just been a bit of a trying time for me. However, I'm really trying to look at this time as a gift and really take advantage of the time that's fallen into my lap all of a sudden, and not having the responsibilities of a 9 to 5 right now. Maybe there's other things that I've wanted to pursue that I put on the back burner, and because I just couldn't be consistent with it or juggle with my job. But it's just kind of crazy to even like rack my brain around that, because when I said that I follow the rules, I was a top five
You might
student in
cry.
high school. I graduated number four in my graduating class. I then went to the University of Florida, a top engineering school, and I got my bachelor's degree in chemical engineering. And immediately after graduating, I went to a Fortune 100 company and
Is that
worked
how they
in
do?
research and development. I was there for 5, 6 years, and then I moved to the current job that I've had. I was always a hard worker. I didn't cause a fuss. I would put myself out there for promotions, but if I got any pushback, I kind of just let it be, because I was like, I don't want to get on people's bad side. And is the juice really worth the squeeze? Like, I'm just happy to be gainfully employed. And it's not that I didn't want those promotions. There was just so much going on. I wasn't happy in the environment I was in. I was feeling targeted by past managers, and I was just really trying to keep my head down and just do good quality work that I know that I could do, and really just enjoy my weekends when I was able to, and put away my money in my savings, take some trips, see some friends. And I was like, I guess this is my life for the next 40 years. And I come from a Jamaican household. Education has been the only thing that I've been told to prioritize in my life. A traditional corporate job is, the goals that I was told to strive for. Like my initial thoughts getting that news about the layoff was like, what am I going to do? Like, I need to find a job. I literally posted on LinkedIn probably within 2 hours, really trying to like set myself up. And a part of
Well, it sounds like she really, really, really was doing the right thing, following um the plan to success, which is to get your education, find a career, you know, do that for until it's time to retire. So that's that's pretty accurate. Okay.
me was a little bit naive because everyone was talking to me so highly and favorably and being like, oh, you're going to be good. You'll find a job. Like, you'll be fine. And I know it's only been 3 weeks, but I literally haven't heard from any recruiters. Like the job market right now, especially in the field of user research, is bleak. And there's been other layoffs since with other companies that people with my role title, and there's just not enough jobs currently on the market to get everybody who's overly qualified, to be honest, employed. So it's definitely been a trying few weeks. I've been going through the different emotions of it all and really like the first week I was just on LinkedIn 24/7. Okay, that's a little bit dramatic, but like 7 a.m. to 2 a.m. So was just getting only a few hours of sleep because I would just see 500 applicants, 1,000 applicants, like the number of people applying for jobs that I was like, oh, I need to honestly catch when the job is just posted because
What is that in the back? What is that in the background? Comment down below. What is this? What is this? This throwing me off. I I'm listening, but what is that? Comment down below. Let me know.
I need to be the first person or the first 10 people to apply to get a chance. And that hasn't really been working either. Like, again, I've gotten only 2 official rejection emails, and then the rest is just radio silence. Like, I feel like my resume is going into a black hole, never to see the light of day again. Yeah, now I'm just trying to figure out what to do next as I apply. Like, I'm still going to keep applying for jobs. It's obviously not as stable depending on your career line of work as like when my parents were working, but I still want to be able to have a corporate job and be able to pursue all my other passion interests. So one of the things that I've wanted to do for the longest time is YouTube. And I've been a consumer of YouTube from my preteen age, watching all the OG beauty influencers, the vloggers, also the when YouTube like had no rules, like shoes and all the weird videos that used to be out. I posted videos when I was a teenager on YouTube on a different account that have all been removed, so don't go and try and find them. But what the kids are doing today, I probably should have just kept at it. Maybe I would have made it by now. You never know. Whatever. It's all in the timing of life, right? Like what's meant for you, what's meant to happen will happen when it needs to happen. And I'm a true believer of that. And honestly, I just feel like this is just very pivotal. Like I've read so many stories of women in their 30s and their 40s really just taking a hard pivot in their career where something happens and then they just kind of finally go after their dreams and they make it. Like they actually make it happen. So that's what I'm doing. I mean, I want the corporate job, but at the same time, I just want to be happy and I don't want to have stress in my life. And I want to see the output match my input. And I know that I'm going to put 110% into the things I'm truly passionate about. And I can only hope that it comes back to me tenfold. We'll see them. Why I'm motivated to just make this work is because I don't want to leave Florida. Like all my family is here. When I was living in Cincinnati for 6 years, like all I could think about was getting back to Florida. And then I moved to Boston and I said, whoa, we went way too far north. And so my job that let me go afforded me the ability to be in Florida. Like my parents are in their 70s. I help take care of them. And so I don't want to leave. And I'm like looking at jobs that are still remote, but those are a dime a dozen. And like my field just isn't that big in Florida. So I'm getting definitely really creative in the job search, getting really creative in what roles that I look for and what skills would read as transferable, even if it's not my same exact job title. But I can't leave anything off the table in terms of what's going to work, what's going to afford me.
5 more minutes, y'all. 5 more minutes, folks. I low key want to just find something else.
The life that I want to have, the retirement that I want to have, and being able to take care of those and chat, build community in that way. And yeah, but I also wanted to just see what I can do on my own. And, you know, sometimes they say like either shit or get off the pot. I have all the content equipment over the years. I've filmed videos that are just collecting pixel dust in my hard drive. And I'm actually just finally ripping the band-aid off because I have no excuse. Like I always said that time was my excuse. And not having it because of my job. And now I don't have that job right now. So let me take full advantage of the time that I do have. I'm probably a little bit more optimistic about this than I should be, but I think you do need a little bit of Delulu in life to get what you want because anxiety, you just kind of need to get out of your own way. So this is me to you guys. So also follow along if you want to just hear about like my wellness side of things. You feel like YouTube,
Okay.
I do have, I want to say,
I heard on another vlog, um, corporate baddie, Shmuriel. Um, maybe you all have seen previous episodes that I've had, or you have seen her yourself. But she said that she told someone one time that she was let go of or laid off, and they told her congratulations. So what I would leave with this young lady, Miss Natasha Marie, is congratulations. Looks like she has a plan. If she sticks to it, she may just be as successful as she deserves to be. Moving right along, um, let's continue. I just saw something else because we love to be intrigued, right? I kind of want to watch the body cam horror, but I'm going to watch this one below it.
I can't tell you to quit your job, right? Everyone's situation is different. So to lead with if it's stressing you out, then why don't you leave? It's not realistic. I wanted to create this video just to keep you encouraged if you are experiencing or in a situation where you
Tony Renadia, you guys, Tony Renadia, and it looks like it's pushing out new stuff to me. We love that. We love that.
have a job that is taking a
Our
lot
new
out of
people.
you. I've been there 7 months ago. I quit my job and went full time in my business. Luckily, I was blessed enough to be able to walk away and still be able to provide for my family. But again, that's not everyone's situation. I just want you to know you are not alone. I've been there. I worked a job for 7 years. In the last 3 years of that job, it really affected me in ways that I didn't understand until I got out of it. It changed my confidence. It changed my self-esteem. It changed what I accepted from people. It just made me feel like nothing I did was good enough or I wasn't good enough. No matter how hard I tried, I felt as if my job would find something wrong, and it just kept me down. And if you are experiencing that, I am so sorry. I know that there's nothing that I can say that can take that away, but I do want you to know that your mental health should be your number one priority while you are in this situation. Sometimes we neglect our mental health, and it takes us years to come back from that. Take time or find time to give your mind and your body a break. I don't know what that will look like for you, but you have to find a second, a minute for yourself, whether that's alone time, silence, music. Sometimes I get lost in music and that helps me relax. I know at night sometimes I would have to really cry myself to sleep because I was so stressed. Then I found this app where you could listen to relaxing sounds. It's like science behind it. Relaxes your mind and drifts you to sleep. Find a hobby. Find something that you're skilled at that you can develop or lean into, and potentially find a way to make money out of that so that you can have that FU money and move on with your life. And a lot of times too, I think a lot of us think we need all of this money to be able to sustain our life or our family. But if peace is more important to you, I really encourage you to take a second and write out what your expenses are and what it would look like financially to live the life you want to live. What does it take for your bills? What does it take for the lifestyle you want? And chase that dollar amount versus fantasy people create about making six figures. If you have the option, take FMLA. Right before I quit my job, I took FMLA. I was able to just relax and not worry, trying to get my thoughts together. Before my FMLA was over, I walked away from it. I could never see myself going back to a traditional 9-to-5 job. It just did too much to me where I can never see myself allowing a job, a boss, or anything like that having so much power over me. I know working, period, you're always technically going to be working for somebody, but like I said, just not in a traditional sense. All that to say, I just really want to reiterate how important your mental health is, and don't take it for granted. Don't neglect it, because it's hard to come back from some things. And I feel like sometimes, depending on your family history, you never know how far left you can go in a situation. So if you take anything away from this video, just take away making a second
family history, your environment, people around you, all kind of things, factors, situations, traumas that you have experienced, all kind of things. So yeah,
minute, some
I
time
agree.
for yourself to recharge and to stay as encouraged as you can as you work through what you're going to do while you're in this situation, or how you're going to get out of the situation. I see you. I know there is a lot of us out there are struggling at a job and you don't see a way out. You don't see any bright side. And I don't have the perfect answer, and I don't think no one does. All I can really say is just stay encouraged and find time for you. And in that time that you make for yourself, I feel like you will find a way. You will find what works best for you, but it's hard to do that if you don't take time to focus on yourself and what you need for your life, because you have one life to live. No one can tell you what to do. That's a decision that's made with you or you and your family. So you're not alone. I see you. Stay encouraged. Do what's best for you. Make time for yourself, and just believe that it will all work out for you in the end. You'll look back on this, learn so much, and be able to share your journey and your experience with other people, just like I'm doing.
Okay, girl. That was, I want to check her out too. But Tony Renadia, 4 minutes, less than 5 minutes of a video, and she helped. She helped. She pressed record, and she probably made a difference in somebody's life. Hello. Oh, just that fast. Good job, Tony. Good job. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, she's a grade 49. Oh. They're not firing you, they're just making you leave. Okay. L- Let's yeah. This one is long, but I like her.
Y'all gotta excuse me. I'm getting ready for the gym. Sometime when I'm bored, I just go through just seeing what's
Oh,
going on online. And I noticed a
So let's
whole
see.
bunch of videos. I'm talking an abnormal amount of content of people saying that the job market's hard and Gen Z is doomed. There's no point in even trying in this society because
So I like watching her. She comes on here and she kind of does like little compilations and stuff like that. And she gives advice on the economics or costs, things like that. Sometimes she yeah, you'll see how her content is, but I like it a lot. This is social Simone. Also, she has a military background. So I like how her mental on here is she's she's not like she sometimes she shows that she's not really a civilian, if that makes sense. So let's continue. If that makes sense.
inflation is through the roof. We're in this recession. We're having all
Now,
these
she is a
problems, right?
civilian, but
There's jelly on the bottom of my cup. I made a peanut butter jelly sandwich. First, I want to start by saying that seeing these sort of videos online is becoming increasingly normal day by day. I'm not even shocked to see these sort of videos, and I'm starting to think this is a new niche of video where people are just getting on.
and excuse me if I pick up my cup. I wish I had my straw with me, but I don't. Uh, so I'm a little uncomfortable, but I have to get through the day. This is a Bloom drink. This is what Bloom drinks look like out of the can. But I'm sipping kind of fast. I need to be sipping it slow, but I'm kind of getting ready for the day. I am getting ready for the day, and I don't have coffee. And I had tea several times this week, so I'm doing the Bloom today, and I'm gonna get a lot of work done because those blooms, yeah, they get you together. Well, they're still on this lawn out here.
Online and airing out their grievances, which I understand. I do like to see how other people think and feel about things that I hear about. And while I was scrolling, I came across a video. I don't even want to put the video up that I seen because it's actually not an attack on this person. It was just something I observed. My curiosity got the best of me, and I ended up watching this guy's video, and I noticed that he had more than one video in which the videos he uploads pertains now, it seems, mostly of him airing out his grievances about how he lost his job, one through social media because he was posting a rant about his job and how he couldn't work a 9 to 5. And then another video where he then got fired, then followed up by another video where I think in that video he's talking about how Gen Z is cooked and everybody's doomed and the job market's horrible, and about how he did like a job interview or something and he didn't get the job. And it was just a whole bunch of string of events like back to back to back to back. And I'm saying all this to say I'm noticing a bunch of content creators actually building a following of other people who are just like, yeah, I'm having the same experience. Granted, I understand there is an audience for everybody online. Like whatever it is you're going through, you can probably find somebody online having the same exact experience. I felt like, yeah, those are things that if I were going through that, I can understand. But I think I noticed something a little bit more dangerous about this sort of content. When I was going through the comments in the echoes of people just like, yeah, we're cooked. Like I keep telling people there's nothing we can do. I keep telling my family this is what I'm going through, and I just give up. And it's like, I get that people are going through things and I do feel for them, but I also strongly feel like, yeah, you're going through something, you're facing adversity, you keep getting the door slammed on you for all these different reasons, and all these different things just seem to not be going your way. But to get online and make videos like we're doomed, we're cooked, so what's the point, and blah 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 blah, and then getting online and cursing up a storm in your video, saying the N-word, talking about why you're not getting employment, like there's a whole bunch of things that are just wrong with people doing these sort of videos, and I just don't understand why they don't see it as an issue. And I understand these sort of videos are rants, and I get that's why they're coming off as unprofessional as they are. But do people not think, what if the person that you are looking to get hired by sees these videos and then they're doing like these follow-up videos where they're talking like everything they're doing is not working. And I just can't help but to think it might be because of your social media presence where you're saying the N-word, you're saying all these things, you're saying like we're doomed, we're cooked. It's just not coming off professional. And the sad thing is a lot of the people who make these sort of videos, they say things like, oh, I have a degree, they're overqualified and all these things. And then when you get online and you just got to do a little bit of scrolling, y'all, it's not hard to scroll back. No lie, this guy was doing videos about like some raunchy stuff. And I was just like, I'm just like, dude, like, do you know that attached to this very account that you're recording on, you have some stuff on there that's it's a little questionable. And if I was an employer, if I'm going through all the people and I see like you keep going on these rants, you have a history of like calling out your employees and blah, 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 blah for all these different things, saying the N-word. And let me just say something about people using the N-word or just cursing up a storm.
They had a saying, common sense ain't that common. And while some of us feel like we should already know, people should already know these things. Um, mental health, mental health is real. So yeah, social media people will come on here. They will post things, and then they will wonder why they're not getting hired. Of course, you're being viewed. Of course, um, jobs are looking up your name and looking to see if you have something online that, you know, tells them a story about you, without even meeting you. The internet is your introduction. And I don't think some people really realize that. Um, so yeah, it's accurate what she's saying.
In their videos. I really feel like out of all the words that we could use while looking for employment, y'all, that's wild. That's a wild thing to do because you do have to remember you are being judged off of face value. Whatever you're showing is what this person is judging you off of. So that's not just what you're showing them at the interview. Like if you have tattoos and things like that, you have piercings and you're showing up and they can see things like that. Not to mention you have a social media account where you just kind of go off on these rants and they can see the real you. It's just like, we don't know if the real you is going to show up at corporate America. And I'm not saying that this is why a lot of people aren't getting the positions that they're wanting, but it doesn't shock me if you have a online presence and people have all this technology now. We can find people online and maybe they've come across your content or whatever the case may be. And what makes it worse is the people in the comments that are like, yeah, I'm having the same experience. Granted, I know this economy sucks right now for everybody, but I also see it like you and the person that's making the video, if you had to compete for a job, would not have been on the same playing field anyway. One of y'all is going to come out disappointed and somebody is going to come out with a job. Do y'all not understand that y'all have to compete with each other and not everybody is going to come out victorious in these battles being you looking for the job and wanting the job, and sometimes you may be qualified and you may have all these things but you don't know what your competition has up on you. And I think a lot of times people get wrapped up in, oh, well, I didn't get the job and why didn't I get it and I deserve it and blah, blah. Not saying that you don't, but what about your competition? Yeah, you might be overqualified, but maybe your competition was overqualified too. And maybe it came down to little things. And maybe they were one-upping you on those little things. Like, we don't know. And sometimes it is just, yeah, people are getting hired over you.
Like not posting on social media. Like not putting like just out of their things on social media. Right.
because they know somebody at the job and you don't know that person, so you're not going to get one up on them for that reason. But what's interesting to me about even those sort of situations is you could be the person that knows somebody, and if you got the job because you knew somebody, you wouldn't be mad about it if you were qualified and somebody else didn't get it because you had a personal relationship with the person. Like, you would be like, well, I knew them, so it is what it is. If you know the game, why not try to network? That's the way I see things. And I know that might come off as messed up, but if I know that people are one-upping me because they have a better network than me, I would then try to build my network. I'm going to share something with you all. When I was in the military, my whole job pretty much was to network. If you weren't networking in my job, you weren't getting the job done. And sometimes I didn't feel like talking to people. I didn't always feel like going to each unit trying to see who I can make a connection with, but I understood that with my job, that's how
Let me
it
fix the
worked.
face.
And that's how you became better than the other people in your job. You be in your
Message. Even for those who are socially awkward, those who didn't grow up around other people, those who were, just went to school, came home, didn't have any type of outdoor activities with other people, didn't really socialize with the family inside the house. You just had to find things to do. Sometimes people are socially awkward. You have to move out of that. You have to figure out a way, find a way to um, find the extrovert in you, too. Because a lot of people will say I'm an introvert. I do not um, mingle with people too well. It bothers my social battery, um, and all of the things. But networking is very important. Very important. Um, but yeah, I love this. I may not play the whole thing, so if you're interested in watching the rest of this, you are more than welcome to go to her page and watch her content because I love her content. Social Simone is her name. And, when I'm watching television, when I'm watching content, I like to watch some of her content as well. Let's see how far she goes because I'm loving it. She's giving it to us real and raw.
unit, and they would say, how did you make that happen? Oh, I know somebody over here that was able to make this happen for us. They might say something like, hey, can you get us this item? We don't have the item here at the unit, at the job, pretty much. And me knowing that I don't got it, I don't have a way to get it, you have to sometimes look outside of yourself and make stuff happen. Or you can just be like, no, I don't know, and just sit there on your hands. There are people who will complain about something, and there's people who will get the job done no matter what. And granted, every time it's not going to go in your favor, but if more likely than not, you are the person who is able to get the job done when nobody else seems to be able to get it done because you know people and you're well connected, that makes a big difference. If I personally was trying to apply at a job and I knew I really wanted the job, I would be trying my best to get in good with the boss before I even worked at the job. Maybe I go to the job and I just go
The boss, HR, all of the things. Yes. Yes. Oh,
there
her
to
face.
talk and they already know my face. They already know my personality. They already
Mhm.
know how I do things, that I'm friendly, like those sort of things. When you get out the military and you're trying to like transition back into the civilian world, we call it, they make you do mock interviews where you're literally doing interviews in front of like 30 different people that don't know you. And you're being interviewed in front of everybody. And they're going to tell you what you did good, what you did bad, if you answered things good. One thing that stood out to me was
I love that. I love that. A mock interview for to see, okay. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. That's good. Um Okay.
One of the hiring managers that was doing the mock interview said she was between like 3 different candidates. And she said she ended up hiring one of the candidates over the other 2 because they sent her an envelope after the interview, like a little thank you card. And she said pretty much all the thank you note was like this little something you can get from the store. It's just like, thank you for giving me the opportunity or interviewing me and seeing me as a viable candidate. She said that person got the leg up on the other 2 because she was torn, because on paper they all looked pretty much similar. And the lesson that we all learned from that was sometimes you get the position because you stand out and you went a little bit above and beyond what your competition was willing to do. That simple. And I say that to say this about the videos I see online. I feel like they're simply just rants and they're a little unproductive in my opinion. I don't see solutions to problems. I just see the problem. I just see, oh, it's not going well for me and that's just the end of it. I don't know how that is inspirational to people. And if you start just making content where all you're doing is complaining and that is your audience, it's just of people that just want to hear you complain, and then they get in the comments and tell you, do more videos like this. I'm not understanding what value a audience gets from just hearing somebody complain with no resolution, no action that's going to actually help them. You just want to hear somebody complain. I think that's a little weird. And that's just my personal opinion. If I am in a bad situation and I don't want to be in this bad situation, yes, it sucks. Yes, things seems like everything is against me. But if I'm just consuming content that's just doom, 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 and there's nothing good that I can take away from it besides the fact you're frustrated, I'm frustrated, we're frustrated together. I just feel like it's one of those situations where it's like misery loves company. And I don't want no parts of it because I don't want to just dwell in misery. I want to be better. I want to do better. I want to stumble, fall, get up, do it again, and come back and tell you about how I got up and I kept going and I was able to make it happen. So you can.
Why? Because we love a great journey. And I'm gonna pause her right there because I'm gonna come back to her. Thank you, Mr. Mom. Again, if you want to see her, it's Social Simone with a Y, Symone. Social Simone. That was good stuff. And I don't want to play her whole video because I want you to go to her channel and watch her stuff. She has some good stuff over there, some good tidbits, as you can see. But I'm gonna leave it right here for the 2 other women. I'm intrigued. I really, this episode was a good episode, and I'm glad that I pressed play on all 3 women today. And tell me down below, comment down below and tell me if you liked it as well. Um if this was something, if this is something that you like to watch, you like to see, if you were intrigued as well, come on back. Come on back. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. I'll see you in the next one. IBTCH. And we react over here. We react over here because why? We love a good journey. And it's a good day to be intrigued. See you next time. That was a good one.